Well, back to Let's Chat. I'm your host, Nikki Luciano, along with Mason, Ryan, and Missy. What's up, guys?
Howdy. Oh, I guess it's just me.
They're all so quiet.
We're
I'm
just
not
trying to
here.
see the audio was coming in.
Oh, so tonight we're going to be working with a new Wi-Fi carrier, internet carrier, whatever you want to call it. I'm old. Don't pay attention to me. We went with who is it now? T-Mobile now, because Spectrum sucked and it was just dropping all our shows. We'd have to have like 3 separate lives to do one show, and it was ridiculous. So hopefully, God willing, and the creek don't rise, we'll be able to get through this night. I think I'd like to start off by talking about the Annabelle tours. I'm excited because Mason, Ryan, Missy, Sam, and Desi and I are probably all going together in October to see Annabelle, the doll from the movie Conjuring.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm as excited as a 3-year-old in a dollar store.
You're not take your phone.
Why? What's
Because
going
it's just
on?
vibrating like
Vibrating.
crazy.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you.
I'm excited to go and see her. Everybody's talking about, oh my God, when she was in New Orleans, a building started on fire the exact moment that the door was opened on her box.
The plantation, then 11 prisoners escaped.
11 prisoners escaped, and then she went somewhere else and something started.
She was gonna go to Chicago, and they said that they've had, they canceled her in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago says, we're sad enough over here. We don't need that
Well,
too.
they said that they had the worst sandstorm that they've had in over 150 years.
Sandstorm in Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd the sand come from?
Annabelle.
Don't know her. I don't know. The lake? I don't know.
Okay.
She was supposed to go to Texas, but I forgot what happened there.
Oh, Texas don't want her.
Yeah.
That's the Bible Belt down there. They don't.
Yeah.
You don't bring that shit here, they said.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I can't wait.
Mia wants to go. Mia might come with.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
She says she don't care if she's got to sleep in the car. She wants to come with. But she's definitely afraid of Annabelle.
Yeah, she won't
So-
sleep any other time after that.
No.
See, people are putting too much into it. I don't
The
know.
Warrens said that it was the most dangerous
But-
artifact known to man.
It also
And it-
turns out there's a lot of people out there saying some pretty negative things about the Warrens, too. Sexual charges against
Everybody claims
Ed.
that about everybody right now.
Yeah.
and
It's just
all
the,
kinds of
the
things.
in
So
thing to do.
you don't know what to believe. I'd hold Annabelle if I could.
It's because you're dumb.
That makes
Maybe
one of us.
Maybe just boop her nose.
Yeah, just boop her little nose.
You guys are the dumb white
Yeah.
girls that die 5 minutes into the
Yeah,
movie.
you guys are the
Yeah.
girls that
And
have.
that's so that the rest of us can survive.
Yeah.
You're,
I'll
like,
sacrifice
you're like
it
the
for a boop.
See, we have a purpose.
you're like the Progressive commercial where it was the
Yeah.
running car and they hid behind the wall of chainsaws.
Yeah. No, let's go hide over here.
Why don't we just get in the running car?
So,
But it's not just Annabelle. They have other artifacts that are going to be there
The
too.
satanic worship.
Yeah, I don't
idol.
want to be anything anywhere near that thing.
They're all
Oh,
in
we
the
believe
same
in that
room.
one.
Yeah.
Well, duh.
They're all in the same room.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's all together.
They're not going to have
Okay.
separate rooms for every. They don't
And that's
segregate
also
them.
where the ghost hunt is going to be, is with all the
yeah. They're
artifacts.
talking about doing a ghost hunt with the investigators and a seance. I don't know if I want to be in on the seance.
They said that the seance is like
a friendly.
a
ghost
Oh,
friendly
yeah,
one.
they-
They only allow in friendly ghosts.
Yeah, okay, that's like
Friendly
having a
demons.
Friendly
no
demons.
guns allowed sign and expecting the burglars to go,
Yeah.
oh, we can't go there. They have a no
Well,
guns
I don't care if I
allowed.
got to stay by myself. I'm going to it.
Oh,
If I'm going there. I'm going to get the full
Eh,
experience.
No, I'm not doing
I don't
that.
think I want to spend the extra $60 for a seance, to
Mm,
be honest.
I'll do a ghost hunt, but
I'll
not
do
a
ghost
seance.
hunts.
Yeah.
Seances, that just goes against everything that
Well,
I'm
yeah, I
trying
wanna
to
do the
clean
ghost
up in my
hunt.
life.
I don't care if I do the seance or not, but at least
Oh,
I'm
I
doing
thought
the
you were
ghost
saying
we
the
thought you said
seance.
seance.
hunt. Oh, I
Oh.
can have one all by myself. Oh.
Yeah, with her new crystals.
Yeah. I don't use them for evil.
No, we got to get back in the swing of things again. Things have been too interruptive in my life, intrusive, if you will. Who's at my door? Are we still on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
I'm not a
no, I want to get back into the swing of it. I miss going to, the cemeteries and checking shit out.
Just give me a month and a half notice.
Okay. Take off August.
Ugh, August is a busy month for me.
It's a busy month for us too.
Birthday parties. Oh, yeah. Work can survive.
Okay, September.
It's a little chilly in that month.
Why are we
I'm
going so
gonna
far
kick
out?
you.
We can go July.
July.
Okay,
Yeah.
July.
You just
It's
totally
still
I
May.
was trying to get.
yeah, you totally skipped June and July here.
Well,
I was trying
June's
to give
dead.
him
Well, yeah.
enough.
But July.
notice.
I think my schedules are only out till the first week in July.
Yeah.
Um,
So you need
Okay.
off every weekend in July. Gotta get all
so
the.
Missy's paying my rent. Got it.
Who's this Missy you speak of? I checked my driver's license. That's not my name.
Hmm.
No. New phone.
I guess I can delete her
Mason.
number.
My darling Mason
Yeah.
has some wonderful stories to tell you. So hold on your hats.
Wonderful, traumatic. I don't know.
No, he's been having some paranormal activity. I have too, but I kind of don't pay too much attention to it. I mean,
I'm not going to be the only one telling stories.
well, get into it and I'll tell mine.
Oh, snapping.
I'll snap you.
Which
No, he's
one?
got some really good ones.
There's only 2.
I thought you said there was 3.
Yeah, but the last one's stupid.
So what? I like stupid too. That's why I married your dad.
Oh, hey.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Everybody relax your butt muscles.
Which one first?
The first one.
The least scary. Build up.
Mommy
flipped me
me
okay.
off.
So it'd be the dream.
Okay, yeah, tell the dream. The dream was cool.
Okay. I didn't write out a script. It's just bullet points.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a second. You
He
gotta have
made
some
notes
filler.
in his phone to remind himself of
As
what.
soon as I woke up from the dream, it was like 4 a.m. I just have one eye open. I'm typing in my phone because I was afraid I was gonna forget it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Dun dun dun.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to start it.
Smack her.
This Missy girl doesn't exist. Why is she so effing annoying?
New phone, who dis?
Okay,
Meant to
so
erase love.
the devil had you trapped in a mirror.
Me, right?
Yep.
Okay.
In the bathroom. And okay, so this is bullet points. This is not exactly how the dream went, but it's the gist of it. And he said it was before she ever smoked her first cigarette. Don't know that. Don't know.
I've been
what that means.
smoking since I was 14, so.
I mean, I have a general idea of what this dream boils down to, but I'll get into
Okay,
it.
I'll hear the analytics after you.
Yeah.
Tell the
And then
bullets.
he started cutting, and you were like in the dream, the person who was trapped in the mirror was probably Lyric's age, so probably like 4 or 5.
Oh, that was me when I was 2 up there.
Yeah, you were probably, I'll say between 4 and 6.
Okay.
But then he started cutting your clothes and your hair with scissors, and then he said, I'll burn you, and the magnets that connect will melt. Again, doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'll get into it.
Okay.
He said you'll wear an ugly dress and an ugly corsage,
I threw away that dress.
but of course they'll all make it through, for you don't know the day or the hour of his coming.
That
That
is
last
weird.
part is what
That's
gives
about
me chills.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a mockery. That
Yeah, that is definitely a mockery of Jesus,
Mhm.
and I rebuke him.
Yeah.
The bad guy, not Jesus.
The bad guy.
Just to clarify.
So, what do you make of that? Because when I was little, I used to think, and sometimes I still get that question in the back of my mind about mirrors and another realm. And, like I wanted to write a book about, my ideas about that, like about how the image in the mirror and they get angry because they're not getting to live the life that we get to live on the outside.
Mhm.
They're trapped in this mirror. Just as something hits my window, that was pretty fucked up. Missy's under my
the
desk.
He said, "I'm here."
Can you turn my toenails way down there?
Okay,
Nope.
so go ahead.
Continue.
Did you hear it again?
Yeah.
Yeah, down here.
Oh wait, isn't it Junebug season?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's probably June bugs bouncing off the window.
Then you go sit by the window.
You put your back to the window then.
You can pull the drapes.
Okay,
That's not gonna stop a demon from coming in.
that'll make it scarier.
Like Jimmy's ex-girlfriend who used to pull the blanket over her head because she thought that stopped the demons from getting
I mean,
in.
Haley does that too.
I just put night lights in every corner. Might as well just leave the lights on.
Okay, so what do you make of the dream?
Okay, I'm gonna break it down a bit.
Break it down, Mary.
I'll watch the window.
I got first watch.
Got your back.
So when he said it was before she ever smoked her first cigarette, I thought of in the book when you went from like before you changed like the whole like Roxanne Nikki thing,
Yeah,
like locking the innocent girl away, metaphorically, of course.
locking Roxanne up in the closet. Yes.
So that's what I thought of,
Mhm.
like the innocent before she ever smoked a cigarette.
Yep.
And in the mirror, you were like 6 years old.
Yeah.
So I thought of it's hinting towards like that time frame.
Do you remember in the book where I talked about? I think I put it in the book. I was probably about 5 or 6 years old, and it was bedtime. We were living in California at the time, and I went in the bathroom to take a bath, and I always used to keep an eye on the mirror. What was that about?
You could.
Okay, be frustrated with me.
No. I'll tell you later. I don't want to say it on.
Oh,
Want me to
okay.
tell you now?
But I
Embarrass
used
us
to
all.
like try to trick my reflection in the mirror and see if I could move without it moving, you know? And so I got done playing in the mirror and I took off my clothes, went to get into the bathtub, and I was still kind of watching the mirror. And as soon as my ass hit the tub and I sat down, the mirror above the bathroom sink, which was one of those old school medicine cabinets from, like the 60s and 70s, it just smashed into the bathroom sink. And that kind of reminded me of what you were just talking about in your dream.
Mhm.
What it reminded me of is, so now there's like a thing on Facebook, or not Facebook, TikTok, where everybody's talking about how if you stare at yourself in the mirror,
Yes.
it starts changing. Like it'll start making, like moving its eyes or its face differently than you're actually doing.
See,
I
there
don't-
was something to it.
I don't look at myself in the
And
mirror.
I've
that
known
long to
that since I
notice
was, like,
anything.
4
I'm
years
I'm here,
old.
Okay, bye.
I know I used to like. Well, first of all, I used to. This sounds very autistic, but I used to like go like right up close
Yeah.
to the mirror to where like my nose was almost touching the mirror and stare in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I would be scared of the reflection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thinking that it was
it was
somebody else.
possessed.
Mhm.
I was always like that. I don't know.
Not
It always
me.
felt evil to me.
And see, so mental illness does run in the family, love.
And then I don't understand.
No, but there's got to be something to it if people on TikTok are doing it now.
Yep.
And they're trying to trick their reflections.
Well, the other night, I have that big mirror above my couch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The other night, I was having like there was a lot of activity going on.
But that's the haunted mirror.
No,
Isn't that the
The
one that
big
you
one.
just got? Oh,
the big
okay.
one. I mean, I think they're all haunted.
You have a haunted mirror and you didn't tell us?
I took it down.
Okay, thank
They're in the
God.
basement.
Oh,
I tried
was
selling them to Desi.
The two that we said we wanted.
we pulled
Yeah.
them out while we were down
They're
there.
not, those. I don't get any bad vibes from those ones.
I do.
But so that big one behind my couch,
Mm-hmm.
we're having tons of activity one night. Even Mia was like texting me from upstairs and she's like, "Did you make that noise?" Like, whatever. And I got up because something fell in the kitchen. Huge bang. It sounded like my neighbor did a swan dive through my kitchen window.
Yeah, I
And took
remember
all my
you telling
dishes
me
out.
about that one.
I stood up and my reflection in the mirror wasn't me. I had never crawled to the kitchen so fast. I hit the ground because I was like, that's not me.
I'd have crawled out the front door. Bye, Tanner.
There's mirrors on the way there. I wasn't going near a mirror.
Back door.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
You're also obsessed with mirrors. So.
I know, I love my mirrors.
You
But
don't like looking in mirrors, but you have a million of them.
they reflect the light really pretty.
Yeah, I like the light refraction. I've got 8 huge mirrors in my living room and foyer combined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, getting back to you analyzing this dream.
Then I don't really understand this part. When you started cutting your clothes and your hair, at first I thought of when you were being bullied in school,
Yeah.
and then that's what caused like that whole like personality change thing.
Yep.
And then he said, "I'll burn you, and the magnets that connect will melt."
That I don't understand. What magnets that connect what?
Yeah. But then he said, "And of course they'll all make it through." Who's they? And what are they making it through?
My
I-
kids?
That's what I thought of, is maybe like
Maybe my
a
kids are my
divide between your
magnets.
kids.
Oh, see, I thought you two would be the magnet. The bond between you two, the magnet would melt.
See, I either thought maybe it's a disconnect between mom and the kids, or between the kids amongst each other.
Yes. Because it's said in the Bible, and I can't quote it verbatim, about when he comes, he's going to separate mother from daughter,
Father from
father from son, sister from brother.
Yeah.
What if it's another mockery of what was said in the
And then-
Bible?
So I kind of thought of that like
Because the devil is all up in arms right now, because we are in the end times. We are in the very end of times. And so, like when Jesus was born, somewhere I remember studying about it. The devil was jealous of Jesus being born, and they had to have a devil baby mockery of Jesus
there's a
being born.
mockery of the Trinity. in it.
There's a mockery of the Trinity. There's a mockery of every single thing. So what if that's what's going on? He's gonna mock Jesus coming back with the Antichrist going on and all that other stuff. What if this is your dream is some kind of a prophetic premonition type dream?
Yeah, like the end, kind of like going at that idea.
Yeah.
The end of the dream, kind of like they each like coincide with each other,
Mm-hmm.
because he talks about the magnets melting.
Yep.
Then he says,
That's the bonds.
and of course they'll all make it through. And then he said, "For you don't know the day and the hour of his coming." So maybe like even though there's going to be a divide between the siblings, we all will still
Make it
make
through.
it to the next level.
Yeah. Why did I picture
We'll
Super
all level
Mario?
up.
Yeah.
As long as my kids all get into heaven, I'll be happy. I would sacrifice myself for my children every day of the week.
But then he said that you're gonna wear an ugly dress and ugly corsage.
Am I going to stand up in somebody's wedding?
She's not gonna like this. I thought of what she wore to her first wedding.
That's all I had.
I know, but I don't mean to laugh. You're poor, but like, I get what you mean.
Bitch, you were so broke. You dressed ugly.
Yeah. Anyways.
Anyways.
That was just random, but it's okay.
Okay. So we're kind of like on the same page as far as analyzing that dream, that the magnets are the bond between my children,
Mhm.
the siblings. And I'm still trying to figure out the scissors and the cutting to where I understand it and it clicks,
Probably from like when you did your change, where you changed your hair, you changed your clothes, you changed.
Oh, yeah.
I thought of maybe like, even though, because it talks about like making it through and stuff like that, because you're always like saying that you're trying to get your own butt into heaven, whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought of maybe it's saying that, because it says like you'll make it through. So maybe I was like, maybe it's saying that even though that part of her is locked away, there is still some innocence and some like pure soul or whatever left
Mhm.
there, no matter how bad you think you are. she still has a little bit of that in her.
Mhm.
Well, I watch a lot of these videos that are on Facebook and stuff. They're called Reels or whatever. And one guy was talking about why you shouldn't go to a psychic. And he's saying that it's not her with any type of knowledge. You know, the psychic doesn't have any type of knowledge. It's demons speaking to her or him. And that, you know, and everybody's like, oh, but, you know, she talked about my grandma and mentioned this ring, and there's no way anybody else would know. But what you don't realize is every single second of every single day, not only are there 5 angel spirits in the room with you, but there's multitudes of demons that are standing there listening to every word. They know your deepest, darkest secrets. They've heard every word that you've uttered ever in your life. They know things that they, you know, coming through on the ghost box and stuff, you know, that my ovilus and everything.
Mhm.
You have to really be able to discern good from evil. And would my mom say that? Would my grandma say that? But would the demons say it just to make you think that, you know? You have to be so careful nowadays. The other day I was sitting, and it was daytime. It was probably like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was frustrated, and I was sitting on my bed and scrolling through Facebook, and I've got 2 really big walk-in closets in my room, and they both have the double sliding mirrored doors. And so it's 8 feet of mirror, you know, from ceiling to floor, and then like 4 or 5 feet wide. And I glanced over at the mirror to my right, and I swear to God, that was not me sitting on my bed. I swear to God, on everything holy, on my life, on my soul. I had to turn my back on it because I couldn't look at her
Turn your
in the
back to
eyes.
devil.
Oh, I'd rather turn my back. Even Jesus said, Satan, get thee behind me.
Yeah, but you're scary behind me too.
No, you're not supposed to be afraid, for I am with you, he said.
Uh-huh.
If you're afraid, then you're not a child of
Has
God.
he ever walked around my apartment dark?
Anyways, what was your second dream? Or wait, no, your second story.
Okay, so I was at the apartment,
Hmm.
and it was like, I think it was after work, so it was probably like 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
Great hour.
it's the witching hour.
Hmm.
It's the mockery of when Jesus was crucified at 3 in the afternoon. No, noon to was it noon to 3?
Yeah.
And so 3 in the morning is the mockery of that. Sorry, go ahead.
And I was taking Poppy out. She's on the leash. We're walking up and down the sidewalk, and then get to like the end of the apartment building.
Yeah.
And there's like an intersection right there, like 20 feet away. And there's a street light right there. And I was just zoning out. I just got off of work. I was falling asleep standing up. And then all of a sudden Poppy starts whimpering and then like bucking backwards, trying to get out of her harness.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to comfort her, so I like crouched down, and then I look up, and like right under the street light, so like 15, 20 feet away from me, there was this tall figure that looked like a man, but it was like probably like 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
And it looked like a man's build, but there was no like distinct features about it. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't see skin, you couldn't see
Yeah,
like
no defining characteristics. Like you
Yeah.
couldn't see eyes, you couldn't see.
you couldn't see like a wrinkle in pants, like bagginess in pants or anything. It was literally like a cartoon silhouette.
Yeah.
And so I yabba dabba dooed myself right into that apartment. That's about as far as he
But
went.
that's not the first time you've ever seen that. Do you remember when you, Dante, Desi, who else went on those
Tony.
walks, and you saw you were walking down our street, which is Highland Drive, and where were you going? Where the street light was, and
We're down on Artesian.
yeah, on Artesian, and well, you know, you were there. Tell our listeners what you saw.
I wasn't there.
What?
That
Not
was
for that one.
Tony,
That was
Desi,
Desi, Tony, and Dante.
Oh, I thought you went with.
No, when they saw that like 12-foot tall man, and everywhere they looked, he just kept getting closer, and then he'd end up in front of them.
Yeah, he was just like totally screwing with their minds.
And then Desi dropped her flashlight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But one of the boys picked Desi up and put her on their shoulders, and then the
guy
guy
had a-
did it
The
and
guy
mocked.
nobody put Desi on the shoulders. The guy did. It was a guy and a kid,
Okay.
Yeah. And then
And
he
then-
put the little girl up on his shoulders.
and then it became like one big.
Yeah, it like
Oh,
morphed into
morphed
one
into
like
one big,
15-foot
huge
tall
man.
person.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I thought that like either Vinny or Dante put Desi on their shoulders to make
Mhm.
her walk
No, it
faster.
was Tony and Dante. Tony was riding that.
They were all
bike.
riding bikes.
Yeah, they were riding
Okay.
bikes.
All right. And the third thing.
Well, this one's very short and very just
Okay.
doesn't really make sense. We were in some like abandoned warehouse, but it was like
A dream?
Yep.
Okay.
but it was like a 20-story building, and we were on like we were pretty high up in the floors, whatever. And then I know that there was like no power in there, and we were on the run from something demonic.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get to a certain place because we were trying to find you. And then we knew that you had that exorcism cross kit thing.
Yeah.
Because I think at that point we had Desi tied up because Desi was possessed. And this whatever was possessing people was making them kill themselves and make you watch them kill themselves. So Desi was possessed and we tied her up. I think it was just Missy, Haley, Tony, Desi, and I.
Yeah.
And then somehow Demon jumped from Desi to Tony, and Tony jumped backwards out of a window, and then we looked down and saw him splat on the ground, and then his splatted body, turned into black smoke and dissipated.
What was that
I
one
woke up.
dream that you were telling me about where it said to Haley, "Don't worry, you'll cry next," or
Oh, I
something?
deleted that one. I can look in Messenger if you guys keep talking.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I have 8 children, and my 8 children, they are linked somehow spiritually, not just by birth. I believe that God gave me 8 children for a purpose. And don't say it was lack of birth control, because that has nothing to do with it. I was given 8 children for a purpose, and they're all linked spiritually. Jimmy and Vinny, my 2 sons, let's see, in rank it was Tony, Missy, Jimmy, Vinny. So 3 and 4. They used to have identical dreams every night. Every night. They could be in separate rooms. I would wake up in the morning and Vinny would start telling me about a dream that he was having, and I would tell him, don't tell your brother about it, because you don't want to put a bug in his ear and make him plant a seed. You don't want to plant a seed. And then I'd ask Jimmy later on, how did you sleep? And he'd tell me about his dream, and they were identical, right down to colors, right down to numbers of steps, everything.
Well, Haley and I have that. And
Yeah.
we were in different cities.
Yes.
Like she was living here and I was living in Waukesha. And she'd come up, tell you about her dream, and then I'd call you later in the day, tell you about my dream, and you're like, you need to call your sister.
Yeah. And
were at the same
Mason and
house.
Desi, because I raised them like twins, they were what they call Irish twins. They basically have like psychic connection where they know when the other one needs the other, they've got a real tight bond. But
I found
anyway,
the rest of the dream.
okay.
So it was the same dream. And so when Tony splatted out the window,
And turned to black smoke.
but before he did that, he told Haley, don't cry, you're the next to die.
Oh, my Lanta.
Mm.
Yeah. And a little lighthearted part about the dream. God was talking to us through, I don't know, speakers. I don't know.
You heard a
And-
voice actually coming down from the sky?
Yep.
That's awesome.
But it wasn't like it came out of the sky. It was like a voice, but it was all around us.
Okay, so God had surround sound.
Yes.
Okay.
And
expensive
he
kind.
was trying to help us survive, and he was like talking us through it. But he had a British accent.
Crikey.
That's
Oh,
Australian.
that's Australian. Never mind.
Crikey.
I got my
Continents.
I got my what do they call it? Mental illness accents mixed up. Sorry.
You gotta file them better. You need a better filing system.
Crikey.
Crikey.
Yeah, that's all I got for today, folks.
Um
Scared the puppy.
No, she almost went through
I don't
her
know.
notes.
I just don't like how there's so much revolving around mirrors lately.
I don't like that I'm the only
I
one
think
getting
it's
these
a-
dreams.
I think it's a message.
I feel like Mary. I don't want to be the chosen one.
Well, do you remember the dream that I had about Mary? We live in a bi-level home, which means that the front half of the house, it looks like it's like a story and a half because half of the downstairs is built into the ground. And the back side of the house looks taller. Well, in the dream, I'm looking out the back window and it's an ocean. And all of a sudden, this boat is coming by, and on the boat, I saw
2 giraffes and 2.
no, it wasn't Noah's Ark. No, I swear to God, I saw Jesus, Mary, and Joseph all on this boat, and Mary was waving at me.
I feel bad for waving.
And I was like, just awestruck. And I was like, holy crap, you know? I don't know. It's just really weird.
Mm-hmm.
But
Makes 2 of her biggest fears.
yes,
Her backyard
water.
and water.
No, yeah, I don't like my backyard. There's something
An
off-putting
ocean.
about
There's
it.
an ocean back there. I love
No.
your backyard.
Yeah, my backyard is like a half an acre,
3/4.
Yeah.
3/4 of an acre, and then the front yard is like 1.25 acres.
I think it's the other way around. Your backyard's bigger than your front yard.
Yeah. By far.
Your backyard's double your front
Well,
yard.
it's
Mhm.
almost 2 acres, so.
Yeah.
Acre in the
I'd
front,
probably
acre in the
say
back.
you have like an acre and a half.
But I never use my backyard.
Yeah,
I'll
I
use it.
Don't like
Mhm.
going back
you
there
have
at
a
all.
big backyard now.
Where?
Where the grass is.
No. Wrong house. We put up our bounce house the other day. There was no grass left.
Oh, true. That's your neighbor's yard.
Yeah, you're thinking of behind the garage. That's
Yeah.
yours.
That's your neighbor's yard.
They said I could set up a trampoline in their backyard if I needed to, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you make of all this? Why are we all having these things?
Mental illness, love. Oh.
I don't know. I do eat a lot of cold pizza.
Seriously, I mean, we've had these situations our entire lives.
I do love cold pizza.
Good. There's some out on the stove that you didn't finish at dinner.
Been
I'm
snacking.
currently munching.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe we're just, I had to say, for lack of better
Choosy.
words, easy targets.
But
Or we're,
are
our
we
minds
targets
that-
or are we
that
being
open,
warned?
Maybe we're just, I don't know. Targets is a bad word, but like, like bad wording. Because like, we're very, not susceptible, but we're very receptive of signs.
Yeah, we're too sensitive, I think.
So I think that whatever is giving us these signs is knowledgeable of that. They know that
We're going to pay attention.
if they send us a signal, we're going to deep dive into what it means.
Where did I go with Dad the other day? And I sat in the car while he ran the gas station. And I'm sitting in the car waiting for him. And I'm like, come on, geez, you know? And then out of nowhere, I just felt really sad. And like, I was on the verge of crying. And I had no freaking idea why. I was like, okay, this is weird. I turned and I looked, and 2 cars over at the gas pump, this lady is sitting in the car waiting for somebody also, but she's wiping her tears with a Kleenex.
I used to get like that when ambulances drove by.
Yeah.
I'd get like overwhelmingly sad.
But I've been picking up on a lot of people lately.
And we'd get random pains.
Yeah.
When we were door dashing, and we'd get like that.
Charlie horse.
Great reenactment. Too bad they didn't see it. That would have been perfect.
Old age is kicking in.
Oh,
Can't move like I
please.
once was.
Feel ya.
Don't even get me started on that one. Try being 62.
I don't wanna-
I don't want that trophy.
Me either. I want a refund now. Take me back to 23.
The neighbor the other day, she's like, I'm not in my 30s. I said, me neither.
You're not. You didn't lie.
Nope. She's 28, but whatever.
Oh.
So
Sorry
what's
for
new
that.
in your life?
Nothing.
Anything talk worthy?
No. We got brought Poppy to the apartment. That's
Yeah.
about it. Now have
Poppy is a 3-pound Maltese puppy,
a dog and a cat.
but she's how old? 5 years?
5.
She's always been in the family, but Mason decided to kidnap her and
Say hi,
give her a
Poppy.
better life.
Say hi.
She's saying hi.
What about you, Missy? Anything?
Mia bought me a kitten for Mother's Day.
It's an
Insert-
orange tabby.
Aw.
It's a female orange tabby,
Yeah.
a polydactyl tabby.
Yeah, that's freaking disgusting. I'd bite that thing off.
No, she's so cute with her mittens.
Why does the cat have thumbs? What in the monkey?
I know. And then the other day, yeah,
Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
I didn't notice. that.
Show her the
Mason
show him the
Mason
picture.
kind of
I
noticed it.
pointed it
No,
out
if
to
it's
Missy.
like webbed. It's
No,
so
they're
creepy.
not.
No, it's not
just-
webbed.
It's cute. It looks like a little.
When you
It
said
looks like-
pterodactyl, I'm thinking
They
like
look like
webbed.
mittens,
Polydactyl. Polydactyl.
not pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl. Might as well be.
ADHD kicked in.
Thing looks like a dinosaur.
I don't know, I'll have to find pictures. But then 2 nights ago, she's sitting in the hallway, baby, the cat,
with her thumbs.
and she's staring at the snack cabinet. So you got thumbs opening.
Gross.
She kept looking at me, and I'm like, "There's nothing in there for you," but whatever.
Well, before you were even born, Mason, I used to have a cat. I only had it for overnight. I got it from my cousin, and she was trying to get rid of kittens. Bring it home. It's got 7 toes on each foot, and I called it Lucky 7.
Mhm.
And
That's gross.
if it wasn't such a
Call it disadvantage.
asshole cat, I would have kept it, but it kept trying to hurt all the kids, and
Yeah, it has all those paws.
yeah.
Oh no,
Nasty.
deep dive into what a polydactyl cat could have. I told Mia, I said if it had anything other than
Mhm.
kitten mittens, it'd be gone. You can have a cat that has hooves, just like the 2 toes, like this.
Oh,
I said no, get that devil cat out of my house.
Yeah, why does your cat have camel toe?
Yeah.
camel toe, get it?
That's where the saying comes from.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but
Oh.
nowadays when you think of camel toe, you think of some
Two-sided
cheap
pants.
whore walking around with her
Khloe
jeans too
Kardashian.
tight.
Yeah.
But
What's worse than a polydactyl cat is the other day I was doing a nail trim at work,
Look at that little thumb.
and you know how dogs have
Right there.
dew claws?
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't really see it. all
This
the
dog
No, I
had
thought it
what
was,
is
like,
called
big,
double
but,
dews.
Oh
I
no.
was gonna say, I didn't
It
notice
literally
that.
had 2 like grown man fingers hanging off the back of its leg, and I had to trim the nails on it.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Intrusive thought wanted to cut the whole toe off.
time. Cut it off at the elbow.
Yep.
Problem solved.
Oh,
Yeah,
Imagine
baby,
that getting caught on your blanket.
Yeah, baby doesn't have dew claws.
Like, sorry, one of his 2 thumbs got stuck.
And that's how we noticed that she had the 5 fingers, toes. Because she was napping weird, so you could see her cat beans.
Mm-hmm.
So I was playing with the pads on her feet and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I wanted to see if she had a dew claw because I'm like, that needs to be trimmed if she has it because I don't want it ripping off on anything. She doesn't have a dew claw. So then I was checking like all her nails because when her nails are retracted, you can still feel one
Mm-hmm.
because it comes out of her. She's got like a deformed foot. I don't know because it comes out kind of like on the top of the
Well,
side.
her thumb is her dew claw.
Yeah, but
It's
I'm
just-
saying
There's more meat to it.
like when her paw's like this,
Mhm.
like her middle one is my
Yeah.
cat. She's always flipping the bird. Her nail is sticking up.
She might need a nail trim.
Yeah.
You checked
Oh, I
them though.
checked and they were
They're
fine.
short,
Might
but
have been how she was holding it.
it's all the time.
Oh.
And when you press on her foot to make her nail come out, it doesn't come out like in the middle. It comes off like the side and the top.
Ew.
Kind of.
Ew.
It's kind of offset. Yeah,
Probably got a squish in something.
probably.
Or inbred.
Yeah.
I mean, she has thumbs. So.
She's my special kitty.
Yeah.
But then the other night, so Mia was spending the night, and I was scaring her with the Annabelle doll because I got my Raggedy Ann doll. And I was mentally planning that I was going to scare her by putting it in my antique high chair that I have.
Yeah.
And I was going to put it next to her bed when she was sleeping. But I don't know, somebody was getting me back. Because then Mia was texting me all night. She's like, did you make that noise? Like, did you just pound on the ceiling? I'm like, no. And I didn't hear no noise. So I was like, whatever. And then I would hear something in the kitchen.
Mhm.
One point, it sounded like my whole cabinet fell off the wall. And I was like, that's when I stood up and I saw myself in the mirror, and it wasn't me. So I went crawling into the kitchen to see what fell. Because I was like, that's a distraction. I was trying to see like what happened.
Mhm.
Nothing was out of place. Not a thing. So I went crawling back into the living room. And then like 5 minutes later, Mia texted me again. What was that noise? I said there was no noise. Like I didn't hear anything.
She's probably got a mimic.
And then downstairs there was a noise. Well, then today it sounded like if you would take like your silverware tray and just stand in the middle of an empty tile room and just dump it. That's what I heard in my kitchen. All
Yeah.
the kids heard it. They all freaked out. I went in there, not a thing out of place.
She's trying to talk in the microphone.
Yeah, I saw that.
Poppy's up at the microphone. Who do you think you are, Frost?
Oh. Speaking of mimic, this was it was when we were in Minnesota. So beginning of Mother's Day, around that time.
Yeah.
We have the pet cam to watch Storm, whatever.
Yeah.
And we kept getting notified that there's motion, and it kept saying, like, it'll tell you motion detected, or it'll say person detected.
Yeah.
If Storm moves, it says motion. If like someone walks in, it says person.
Yeah.
It
So
has
it's a
to
motion.
detect a face.
Okay.
So we kept getting notifications just back to back, just person detected, person detected, person detected. Then we go onto the camera. I actually have the screen recording of it.
Because I'm like someone's in
And
there.
you can see that, like, you hear like meowing,
Hmm.
and we're like, okay, it's Storm. We're one of the only apartments in the building that have a cat. You can't hear the other animals from the apartment. And all of a sudden we see Storm goes in front of the camera, sits in front of the camera, and looks up at the camera. And then you know how she does her little hello thing?
Yeah.
You hear that, and then you hear more meowing. So there's
But
something.
did you see her actually do the
Her
thing?
mouth
No,
didn't
her
move.
mouth is closed, and something else is making Storm
Yeah.
noises.
So it was like she was looking at the
That's so
We have a mimic
cool.
of a freaking
she was
cat.
meowing. She was meowing at the camera, and then like from behind the camera, you heard like not her hello. It was like hello, but just a normal person hello.
Yeah.
And then she would continue to meow, move her mouth, and then when it said hello again, she was just mouth closed. Then
That
she
is
started.
so cool.
Then she freaked out and started scurrying
You got to invite me and Missy over so we can do another ghost hunt.
because even
Mhm.
after that something. It must have like fell or something. It spooked her because she went flying down the hallway.
Maybe we could do a live,
Mhm.
live from Mason's apartment.
She's live from
She's
the-
still scared of the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Something keeps spooking. Poppy's even scared of the hallway too.
Yeah, they both are.
If the hallway light is off and Poppy,
But didn't I tell you the first time I walked in, well, the only time I walked into your apartment, that I picked up on somebody that committed suicide in your office?
Mhm.
And
Storm loves the office. She
Storm
craves
loved.
death.
I thought you said
She did for a
Storm-
little bit. No, she's She doesn't go in it. She just
She only
sits in the
goes in there to
doorway.
throw up.
She'll sit in.
Smell of death makes her nauseous.
If she goes in, it's just the doorway. For a little bit, she wouldn't go in at all.
Yeah,
Or across it.
she sits in the doorway.
But I'm telling you right now, something did happen. I think somebody overdosed in that room.
If Poppy can't see the end of the hallway lit up, like if the bedroom light is on,
Yeah.
she'll go down the hallway.
Yeah.
But if that light's not on and you walk into the bedroom and call her down there, she will not go down that hallway unless she
And
can
that's
see the end
weird
of it.
because like when
Neither
she
of
was
them.
living here, she stayed downstairs all the time because she was afraid of Goliath, my dog. The lights would all be off downstairs and she was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But
Neither of them will go down the hall if there's no light.
Yeah.
wow.
They'll just sit there and both start making noises.
I thought it was Storm just sitting at the end of the hallway screaming hello, but who knows? It could be a mimic now. But
I'm wondering about maybe putting the trail cam. I've got a trail cam. What if we put that in the office
Mhm.
and just see what we pick up on?
we need those cameras like on Insidious.
Which
The ones that when it detects something like a temperature change or motion, it does the bright flash and takes a picture.
Oh, the one that does that
Yeah.
weird whirring sound.
So I took this picture because I mean, freaking cute.
Mhm.
But then
I hate Orange Cat.
at night, when I take that night when I was hearing the noises and stuff, I went to take a picture, and why is there a haze on everything?
Oh
yeah, that's weird.
It's like you rubbed a greasy forehead on your camera.
But it was only around Georgia.
That's weird.
But then I took this picture, and it turns out blurry.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wouldn't let me. It didn't want me to take like a good picture. But then, perfectly fine.
Yeah. Well, we've had several pictures that we've taken already back to back because when we were ghost hunting, I wanted you to get as many and as many pictures taken in 1 minute as possible so that we could see the changes. And it was of the exact same thing. And we've had like orbs appear, and a lot of people think orbs are just dust, but it's not. We've proven that when you blow them up, we can see actual faces. And but things will blur out certain portions of the picture, but it wasn't there a second ago.
Well, like
Mhm.
this, you can see perfectly clear parts of the room.
Yeah, but
And then-
it's
Mhm.
blurry.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then there's something in the hallway here.
The
'cause
only
this is
thing
all
I've ever
perfectly
picked
clear.
up in your
Yeah.
house was over by your basement area in the kitchen.
That's where the cat freaks out, and she'll go and sit there for like an hour just staring.
The rest of your house is fine. I could be in the rest of our house with no problem.
You also didn't go in the basement.
Oh no, honey, I
Oh,
don't do basements anymore.
I like the basement.
I don't. The laundry side is what scares me.
The
Yeah.
kitchen and the hallway by the bathroom scare me more than the basement does.
It scares me
basement
now because I was shuffling through your mirrors down there. When I went to do laundry, I pulled one out. I'm like, Mason,
She's got a
isn't this good
mirror
looking?
that she showed me that, God, this thing is probably from the 1800s, and it's got more spirits in this mirror or attached to the mirror than I've ever
The
seen.
ones we saw in the basement was a set of two that look like the ones hanging on the window
Yeah.
wall.
Except for their gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were sitting right up against the wall, and we walked by, and I was like, oh, those are nice looking.
Well, if you're not using those mirrors, we'll take them.
No, I don't want spirit mirrors.
No, I really want those mirrors.
No,
They're
you want to
awesome.
talk a spirit mirror? It's the one you've got in your bedroom.
The one literally from the 1800s from Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a woman attached to that
His
mirror,
great,
and
great, great, great grandmother.
she did
That
not
tree
like
to the
me
mirrors
being
for
there.
The cat tree. Cat tree.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good trade. Yeah.
'Cause I was
I don't know
actually
where we're
post
gonna put
those.
the mirrors, but I
Mm.
really.
I know that's why I didn't get rid of them yet, and I was like, oh, I told Tanner because he brought home. The only reason I replaced them is because he found the gray ones, but there were 3 of them. So I was like, okay, I want those to be uniform.
I mean,
down the
I'd end
living
up
room.
painting them.
As I told Tanner, I'm like, bring the other ones home because then now I don't have to paint these other ones.
Yeah.
'Cause I was
How
gonna
many
paint them.
how many haunted places have we gone to where we were using the obelisk and the spirits knew that we were there and knew that we could hear them. Where you heard them say, he's here or she's here.
Or
They
they're here.
they hear us.
Every place we've
Yep.
gone
Can
to.
you imagine what the fuck is going to happen when we go see Annabelle?
I can't wait.
And
I know.
Ryan, poor Ryan, he's just like,
Oh no, I was like the number one person.
Yeah,
in line
Ryan
for
wants
this.
to go.
oh,
Yeah,
I,
I was
I
number
thought you
one-
were being
No, I was number one in line for this, Annabelle.
Mhm.
okay.
he said if they open the door,
I said if they open
before
the-
they even open the door, he'll be out in the parking lot.
No.
See, I was worried about when you guys went to New Orleans because that is voodoo capital of the world.
Yeah, that's why I made sure to
And-
smile at every freaking person I saw. Because if you
No.
make one person angry, then they put a curse on you.
No. What did I tell you before you even went?
Don't leave the house.
I said I said be very careful because they
Yep.
know who you are and what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And we kept going to like all the haunted places, like the mansion that
The
La Marin.
Did
no.
anybody let on that they knew that you were a seer and that you had clairvoyance?
I don't know. A lot of people just yelled at us in the street, and we just kept walking.
Yeah.
Yelled what?
One time we were literally walking. We were going.
Well, I
to
know
get-
about the guy that pulled the gun, but what I'm talking
Oh,
about
yeah, no.
people that
I
are
remember
picking
him.
up on you.
this one guy. He might have been a crackhead.
They're all crackheads in New Orleans.
He was homeless, and we were walking to. So we went with our boss
Yeah.
to work on her house, and
Thanks, babe.
the most disgusting thing ever. With every meal, she drinks milk.
Oh,
Oh,
I know what you're
My
getting at.
stepdad does that too.
Gross. Should be
know.
burned.
I know
Yeah.
what you're getting at. now.
No, but one time we were walking, going to get her milk at like 3 a.m,
Yeah.
and
Once again, because that's when we move.
we were
around,
walking
apparently.
past this homeless guy, and he was like sound asleep. We just walked past. All of a sudden, he's just screaming, still laying there, not moving, just screaming.
Yeah.
But that was it.
Yeah.
He didn't move.
He didn't make any words.
No,
No,
just screamed high pitch.
there were the
Yeah.
there was the people by the park when you went off of Ursuline Avenue. We'd walk where all the streetlights were broken out, but they were just scream like something like they're coming, and that's it. As we walked by, we were like, "Oh, thanks."
That's cool.
I feel like Kim Kardashian. I can't go anywhere.
See,
Paparazzi.
call it
No,
conceited,
no,
but I
no,
kind of thrive on when spirits know who we are, you know.
Mhm.
That was the park, because that was we took a picture in front of that. Oh yeah, that would be an interesting. We took a picture, so that park is like very haunted.
Oh, that's a
Show
picture
me.
to show
we
you.
took a picture in front of it, and behind us you can see like
like
silhouettes of something taller. So it's like this
Oh my
giant.
god.
so
you
you-
got shadow people.
So it's like this
it
giant.
distorted the whole
Yeah,
picture.
so it's like this giant entrance. It's like an old, very old, like stone entrance, and they have like a light.
It's lit up.
And we stood in the street and had a picture taken of us in it. And in the background, I'm gonna find it.
Well, the big archway light that's behind us, it
Yeah.
says whatever name of the park it is.
okay.
I forget.
On the picture, across our chests, it has the archway, but upside down reversed.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I'm gonna find it now. Where is it? I'm in New Orleans. Oh, how do I not have it? All I got is pictures of pallets and car trunks and a roach.
Ew.
Welcome to New Orleans.
No, thank you. You can keep your
When did we go?
bugs.
We went in August 30th.
Of
24.
24.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have the picture. I'm gonna see if it's in our group chat because it was freaky. I just like the picture looked so distorted. I didn't think much about it until this very moment because I forgot that she said it was
Oh,
so.
yeah.
So
Oh, wait,
haunt-
that's a car behind you. I was like, what is that?
it was so haunted because
What are those?
she was like, "Let's walk through it," and Mason and I like looked it up, and it was like one of the most haunted. Like I guess they have.
Armstrong Park.
Yeah, they have
Armstrong
like I
Park,
guess
okay.
like people who have been buried there a long time ago, and Mason and I.
Is that in the French Quarter?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mason and I would not walk through it.
That's
never
where
did.
we did all. Yeah, like, what is all of that?
Yeah. But no, show like that. So
Okay.
it's written upside down, the same thing across.
Oh my god, that's not right.
She says that's not right because I was wearing a shirt with no sleeves.
All
No,
that white. Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna see through shirt.
no. Mason is actually olive complected, and he looks bone white compared to you because you're naturally darker complected.
I'm secretly Puerto Rican.
Yes.
You've got very good pigment.
Melanin be melanin.
Yep.
It was weird there. There was just it was a lot of
Oh, and then like
random, like nothing. The people on the street. Well, besides the first day I got there, I got a gun pulled on me. That was fun.
No,
But,
it was enjoyable.
Besides that, it's just like you'd cross paths with somebody, and it would be like, not like when you think of like a homeless person, you think like cracked out. Like you can tell these
Mhm.
people looked normal, but like in their eyes, you just could see that there's just nothing going on, and they would just like utter like one or two very like off-branded words. Like they'd
To
be
me, that reminds me of possession.
like it would be like, for like an example, it'd be so random. Like we'd walk by this man, and he'd be like door jam, like as we're walking by, and
Yeah.
we're like what?
Oh,
And we were like, and it was like that the whole time. Every time we
it
walked,
was
by
like
somebody.
walking past an ovilus.
Oh.
It was so weird. It was,
see, maybe you should have listened to the words and put them together.
but nobody talked. Like we kept looking, and no one would talk to each other. It was just whenever we pass it. Probably because we were just so pale. They were like, "Oh, they're not from here. Let's mess with them."
No, there's way too much going on down there.
We're supposed to go back in July.
Yeah, but we're
We're
not.
going. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. We were gonna plan a vacation back down there again.
New Orleans for me was a one and done.
Yeah.
Really? Why?
It wasn't fun.
Who wants to go to New Orleans?
I mean, it was
me. I've
fine.
always wanted to. I want to go
Yeah,
to those
see-
cemeteries.
If it was more that,
I've been to those.
if it was more that based, where it's more like attractions and like
yeah.
getting-
Sightseeing.
But
Yeah,
I would
like
want to
that.
stay in the best hotel.
We should do
I
that.
would not want to stay in your boss's.
We should do that this time. I did the.
Yeah.
because the people we're going with, it's all just nightclubs and drinking.
Oh.
See,
I
I'm
don't
not
wanna
all about
do
that.
all of that.
No.
I've been to the.
It's because I'm so old.
If I
now.
want to drink, I can do it right out in my front yard when we have our cookouts.
I went to New Orleans for my 21st birthday. My gift to my brother was that I bought him and I a trip to New Orleans together.
Yeah.
It was like our one last trip or whatever before we both, because we both were moving out or whatever. And we went to those cemeteries with like, it was right after a hurricane they had, because it was like all.
Katrina.
No, that
Oh,
was
wait.
forever ago.
Oh, yeah, that was in 2004.
I was like 3.
or
But
1.
you went to those cemeteries and it was like you can see like into like the crypts and stuff, and like the people who have like the caskets above ground and stuff's over it. You can look into them. It's
Yeah.
freaky. It's really freaky.
I love
and we
that.
went to every single one and then
Oh.
got yelled at.
Whatchamacallit? Vampire Diaries.
Yes.
There was like a whole season or 2 that was filmed in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's one of
And
the
you can
things
go
that
to the
made me want to go
cemetery.
there even more. Ever since I was a little tiny girl, like up in that picture up there, every time I saw like in a movie, scenes from the French Quarter, and they'd show like the
They
cemeteries
just make
and
it seem
stuff.
so elegant and stuff like that.
It-
Oh, they
is.
really romanticize it with vampires and stuff like that.
Romance and Vampires?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that.
If I lived another life and vampires were like more of a thing, I very easily fall for a vampire.
She just wants Damon.
That too.
No, the French Quarter was beautiful, but it's just such trashy people
It's
that
very
live there.
trashy.
Like, you think Milwaukee's bad?
Yeah.
Like
Go
even
down there.
like even our
They'll
boss.
stab you with a screwdriver and just keep walking.
like even our boss said she's like it's gotten really.
She
bad
said,
down
buddy
there."
system, you never can be anywhere by yourself here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I just want to go to the area with cemeteries. I'm not interested in the restaurants.
and that's
I'm
on the
not
worst.
interested
That's
in
on
the bars.
the worst side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in the
Hmm.
area of New Orleans that like hasn't been.
What is it?
rebuilt.
Oh, the main. Never mind.
Bourbon Street.
Bourbon Street was. the main
Yes,
street.
Bourbon Street. Yes.
That's where that was after our. As soon as we got out of the car and walked on Bourbon Street, that's where we got the gun pulled on us. Was Bourbon Street?
Yeah.
Nope, on me. It was on me.
yeah.
Some reason no one else was bothered. It was just me.
I hate to tell you, I think they went for the weakest link.
Be nice.
Is that not what people do?
Yeah, but you don't have to be
you don't
like,
have to say it.
It's like pointing out somebody's got a booger sticking out of their nose. You
I'll
know?
do that too.
No,
I think it-
just
I think it
do
was
one of
'cause-
these and walk away.
I
you
think
know?
it was because I was in between both of them. I had my boss on one side, Mason on the other, and he came up, walked out of the alleyway, and stood right in front of me and was like,
I
"Hey,
also thought your name was Matthew.
yeah." He kept saying like, "Matthew, why you screwed me over, man?" And I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about, dude."
I think it was a drug deal gone bad, and he was
Yeah.
wearing a very common shirt.
And I was like, "Dude, I don't know what you're talking about," and blah blah blah. And then I started walking.
Well, that's what all the guilty people say.
Yeah, and then we all started walking away, and he
We
pulled
looked
it out.
behind us, and then
And
he pulled a gun
Yeah,
out.
'cause
Of
he
his
was
I got to
bag.
find out if my concealed carry is good for New Orleans.
He was like, "Don't." He said something. He's like, "Oh, don't walk away." And I was like, "Okay." Here's
"We'll run."
I just looked at Mason. I was like, "This is how we're gonna die. We're just gonna be gunned down in the
Yeah.
middle of Bourbon Street."
First night.
Yeah, first night there, I'm like, everyone's gonna get a call that we were shot in the middle of Bourbon Street.
I don't go to Milwaukee without my guns. Guns. No way.
I just walk home
When I go to
park my
pick
car,
up
I just
checks
walk
from
out
window companies that we install for, even like New Berlin, I have my guns.
Oh, I don't care about New Berlin. I'll leave my car unlocked.
the door. Yeah,
No,
that's safe.
Yeah.
Safe.
no, I like it better out here in the country where nobody messes with me because they know better and I don't mess with them.
Mhm.
Wherever you have street lights and sirens, I don't want to be there.
But I also want to be. I don't want to be too far from civilization because what if?
The purge happens.
Well, then you want to be.
Well,
far
then you
from
want to
it.
be far.
Yeah.
They won't come
Everybody's
bother
gonna
you.
come
Why are they
here.
gonna bother some honky tonk farm?
That's where they hide.
Um,
I am nobody's.
Yeah, but
security.
they don't know if we've got
pull up,
Hannibal
this is- you're
Lecter
on your
here
own.
or
Yeah.
Leatherface or any of
They
those
open
other
the door
type
and
of
be like, "Oh,
people.
look at that. What are the odds of two serial killers being in the same place?" And you see which one runs first.
I want to say that the next time I get in an Uber,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
you're
great.
safe. Because what are the odds that two serial killers would be in the same car at the same time?
Yep. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that between work and walking out of work with all those homeless people and crackheads around us and walking from 6 blocks from where the cars parked back that we have not had something happen.
Mason and Ryan work at a bar in Milwaukee, downtown Milwaukee, where it's like ick, where there's 3,000 roaches per square inch, Yuckyville
More rats.
Rats.
and
The rats eat
rats.
the roaches.
Ecosystem.
Yeah.
I'd rather that.
Why
than
did the
rotating
circle of
ratchets.
life from Lion King come into my head?
I just mixed everything up, and only the people on the podcast heard that.
Yeah, we'll listen to
What?
it later.
I said the roats eating the ratchets.
Okay
I
then.
said I'd rather have the rats eating the roaches than the roaches eating the rats.
Okay, back to Annabelle.
Right.
So tell me what you're excited about for going there and what you're afraid of.
Falling off my chair.
Have another one there, slimy.
Slimy. Hey, lumpy.
I meant to say Sally.
It's really slimy. Calling her
Oh,
lumpy
Lord.
from now. I'm changing your.
Can we
your
delete
name.
that?
Okay, lumpy. What were you saying?
we got slimy, we got roach, we got ratches. Dude,
Ratches.
Yeah,
It's a party.
ratchet
Oh.
ratches.
I'm overtired.
Snow White from the hood.
Slimy.
I mean,
Slimy.
roach ratches.
Oh God. I need to
Okay,
drink.
lumpy, what were you saying?
So what are you most excited
What's her
about
name?
for going to see Annabelle? And what are you most afraid of?
Missy taking a picture of the freaking doll because that one the
Robert?
shadow doll. No, the shadow
Oh.
doll. They're not having Robert.
Oh damn.
No, that's
Delilah
not the
said
one I
you
want.
and me both, right?
Delilah
Robert?
said-
Yeah, I
Robert.
would want Robert.
Delilah said, no, we can't delete that part. Delilah's listening.
Oh.
Hi, Delilah.
Go to sleep with the roach and ratchets. Look at you.
Roats and wretches.
Slimy and lumpy.
Siri's listening. He looked up Robert Patterson.
Who's listening?
Siri.
Oh.
Now all the
Yeah,
phones are
that's the
gonna
one
go
I
off.
want, Robert the doll.
Yeah.
That one creeps me out more than Annabelle.
I don't want to be near the demon one.
The one in the little sailor
The
outfit.
satanic
But
one.
if you
Yeah.
like mimic him or make fun of him, he's just gonna.
So you can't go in there singing Popeye the Sailor Man?
Well, because he like actually.
So Missy's not
He
going.
actually killed people.
Oh, God.
I want that
So
one.
we were walking today,
Where's
Delilah
that?
and I.
We'll get back to Mason's question momentarily.
But so Delilah and I were walking today, and somebody had their truck parked across the sidewalk, and Delilah was all bent out of shape that we had to go out of her way to walk into the road. She looked into the truck, and there was a creepy doll that reminded me just of that, laying in the backseat. Of the
Shout out to Delilah.
Yeah,
Shout out Robert.
Go to bed, Delilah.
yeah, right. She won't go to bed till I get home.
Mhm. Well, she'll realize when Annabelle jumps off the cabinet.
Delilah, who's that behind you?
She's got her headphones in too, so she's probably
Yeah.
pooping herself.
Should we all just scream?
All of a sudden, Tanner,
1, 2, 3.
all of a sudden, Tanner heard the tablet hit the wall.
Yeah. Now she's under him. Tell Granny I said
Excited
something
about-
bad.
Okay,
And scared.
excited And scared.
I was talking to you guys interrupted.
Okay.
That's just
We have our own podcast.
We're having a side conversation over here. You
Yeah.
interrupted us.
Ours gets more viewers.
Uh,
Fuck you.
Me and you, ho.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about you guys
No.
against
Lumpy
me.
just got fired.
Okay,
Shut up,
Slimy.
slime.
I'm gonna label you guys microphones now.
I'm changing Mom's contact name.
It's Lumpy, Slimy, Roats, and Ratches.
There you go.
I'm changing the podcast name. Coming soon.
Snow White from the
What's it outside? Oh, I'm excited for them to open Annabelle's cage door thingy.
Cage.
Basically.
Yeah.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Ryan's having a stroke right now just thinking about it.
Yep. But
Why are you excited for them to open it?
because I know that other people like they were taking pictures next to her and people who say that they're like sensitives and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and they'll like lean up against her box and like, oh, I didn't feel anything, it's fake.
Yeah.
So I want to see if I feel anything.
Yep.
That's what I'm excited about. Is to see
I
what
want her to
pick up
turn
on.
her head and look directly at you.
or even if like her arm just moves or like
Yeah.
a hair moves.
Yep. Okay, and what are you afraid of?
Her arm moving, her head moving.
Mm, the fact that wherever we go, we carry stuff home with us.
That's the exciting part.
You want to take Mother effing Annabelle home with you?
I didn't even know what the frick a mimic was until right around, well, it was the same time that we started having problems with a mimic here. And I called Bill and I was like, Bill, have you ever heard of a mimic? And he's like, shut up. He's like, that's just weird. And then, we were talking about it, and him and his family were having problems with mimics at the same time. So yeah, this is pretty exciting because I've had haunted dolls in my house before. Remember
Mhm.
Trinity with my dolls downstairs?
They weren't Annabelle.
No, but for a 3-year-old to walk in and go, Auntie, your dolls are ghosts.
Even before that, my porcelain dolls turned their head and looked at Vinny out the window.
Yeah.
Mhm. Then he ran himself over.
Mhm.
So this is so
I'm going.
exciting.
And
My
I had to get rid of all my
fear
dolls.
is that somebody would get hurt because of it.
Or that we will go there and not experience anything.
That was what I
It'll
was
just
gonna
be
say.
like looking at dolls at a store.
Yeah. What a epic waste of money.
I
Yeah.
mean, I have kids to get away from, so yes, it's not a waste of money.
It's
I
just
get
like-
away.
This is like, I'll look at any doll in any store.
Yes. But yeah, like getting our hopes like built up so high, like oh my god, like everybody's had all these experiences, and then we go there and it's.
But
Why
also,
do we
like,
have to
burning
wait
down
until
cities.
October?
We don't
Where is
wanna,
she
like-
now?
But you know what we get to do?
I think she's on break right now.
September. So right before we go see Annabelle, we get
Mhm.
to go see the new Conjuring movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
And that
the
one looks
Conjuring the
good.
Last Rites comes out September 5th.
And isn't that weird? Because I just told a certain person that they need to get their last rites. I didn't even know that Annabelle's new movie was called Last Rite.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get your movies.
Because somebody dies in the
Last
movie.
Right.
Killed some
Yeah.
Flintstone.
Hope it's not slimy.
Or lumpy.
Or roaches. Oh wait, that's real. That's
Rat.
a real word.
That's real.
Rats. Or
Roats
Now
and
you can't
ratches.
say it.
Roats and ratches. It's like boats and hoes.
Both knows. But the ghetto version.
Get a word.
Oh, my poor listeners are probably going, "What the fuck?"
Missy,
are they all
what doll are
talking
you
about?
most excited to see? And she's not allowed near the shadow doll. I'm not going to let you talk real quick.
Shadow doll.
The shadow doll.
What is the shadow doll?
That's
So,
what I was telling you about.
They said that
Yeah.
the Warrens said that it's like Annabelle but creepier, because they said that Annabelle, like, she actually moves and she scratches you and she causes death. But the shadow doll, he just waits.
Oh,
He waits till you're sleeping, and then he paralyzes you, and then inside your dream he kills you.
so you guys are spending the night that night, right? And we're gonna have all ghost hunts.
Anybody-
Sleeping in a church.
Anybody who
I know.
touches
Sleeping in a church.
What is the
Actually,
Have you
one-
ever seen the movie The Unholy?
Probably.
You need to, where the demon comes up through the church floor, the aisle.
Yeah.
So I was like, can you ask if I can call you
No.
so I can be a part of the podcast, please?
I guess it's like almost over.
Yeah.
We've been
Yeah,
on for
baby.
Over an hour.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Maybe if you
Thought
could
she
go
was
to
gonna tell
bed
me a
at
secret. I almost walked into her cough. I was like,
maybe if you could go to bed at a normal time, you could come over next time.
Well, I did kind of promise her and Dallas
There.
that I would get them started on their own kids podcast.
Yeah, well, that's a little difficult now because Dallas is
Hour and a half
hour and a
away.
half away.
Yeah.
But he's going to be spending, well, according to Haley and I, weekends or a week at a time here during summer vacation.
And Dallas and Delilah are at the age. They're not at a good age to do that.
no,
Why?
they don't get along very
They
well
don't.
sometimes.
Yeah.
They're at the
Um,
mean age.
They're at the dramatic age
Mhm.
where
um,
nothing can be said, and one kid's like, "Oh, this person's talking garbage about me."
Yeah.
well, maybe if they got focused on something like a podcast that would
School?
kind of
No,
no school is just
School's great.
training camp for being one of the government's robots.
We also need school to live.
Mhm. You need school
To a
get
point.
job. Where are you going to work without school?
Open your own damn business.
Can't read.
You can't do math.
I'm saying do the basics, learn how to read and shit. But as far as like middle school and high school, I think that's all a crock of
Say, 'cause
shit.
I think, what did we spell the other day? Bike or something, and Delilah didn't know how to spell it.
She's
She
not very
had a
good-
brain fart.
Yeah, because she's not very good at, like, if you spell a word out loud
I just
sometimes,
got to.
unless you're not talking to her.
Sarah's keys.
And I'm talking to Tanner, and I'll spell, like, you want to go to the P-A-R-K? And she's like, oh, I know what that spells. Okay, B-I-K-E. Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She has selective spelling.
What was I gonna say? So Wayne, my husband, has been going through quite a few medical issues himself. Whenever he eats anything and then goes to try to do anything like, I don't know, pick up the hose in the yard and reel it up, he gets these sharp stabbing pains that go up from his diaphragm up to his throat. And at first we thought GERD, and acid reflux, all that other stuff. But he has a very bad AAA artery. So in order for him to go to, what does he have to go through?
Gosh,
Oh, they wanted to do an endoscopy and colonoscopy. And in order to do that, they have to knock him out. Well, because of his bad AAA artery and everything else that he's got going on, the GI doctor, the GI specialist, said he has to go through an EKG and stress test to find out if his heart is strong enough to be put under anesthesia.
And they also want to rule out any undiagnosed heart conditions.
Yeah, because they're afraid that if he goes under anesthesia that he ain't coming back.
He'll go into cardiac arrest.
So I was talking to Mason about all the symptoms that he's having, and Mason, who has been going to nursing school, and he has a friend who has a similar situation, has personally diagnosed my husband with a sliding hiatal hernia. And I looked that up, and it could be treated with medication. And if it's severe enough that they can't treat it with medication, then my husband is going to have to undergo some type of surgery for that. But Mason, don't go anywhere. Explain what the sliding hiatal hernia is. What is pushing where and doing what to who? 1 second.
Slimy got in the way.
Get going, Slimy.
So part of your stomach goes up through your diaphragm.
Okay.
Like there's
Is it the stomach that goes up through the diaphragm, or the diaphragm that pushes up through the esophagus?
No, the stomach pushes up through the diaphragm and pushes up against the esophagus.
Okay.
And that causes like the acid reflux. It can cause shortness of breath. It can cause chest pain.
Oh, and just as a disclaimer, he's not giving any medical advice. If you have any issues, seek the attention of your medical physician.
Or a cinder block. Yeah, that's what it does.
I also heard that at his age, he, the top, there's like a flap in the top of your esophagus, that might be too soft or something.
Well, he's not choking on food. Like it's not always going down the wrong pipe.
Yeah, like we went to IHOP one time and we literally sat down. I haven't been to an IHOP since the kiss of death. And we sit down. I'm ready to hunker down on my pancakes and my bacon and all this food. And he takes one bite, gets up, and goes to the bathroom to vomit. Comes back out, thinks he's okay, goes to take a drink. He's trying to calm his guts down, as he calls it. Next thing I know, he's heading out the front door, and he's out in the parking lot puking like a drunk dog. And I'm like, can I get this to go? I got to pay for this, and we got to get going. So she hurries me through, the waitress hurries me through. And we get home. Maybe an hour and a half later, he's fine. We rushed him to the hospital, 2 months ago for this?
For the kidney stones?
No, when we actually went to that urgent care hospital because he was having this, and they thought he was having a heart attack.
I wasn't there for that. I took him for the kidney stones.
No, I don't mean that you
Oh,
went.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, they treated him like, oh my God, we've got a 68-year-old male here showing signs of cardiac arrest. And I'm like, it's his stomach, It's just really difficult because he can't drink anything during the day if he's working. Because once he takes a sip or a bite of anything, he's just sick as a dog. And he gets these pains like... he says it feels like he's having a heart attack, but it's not his heart. So I don't know. We're going to get that taken care of. June 12th, he has an appointment with the cardiologist. So hopefully they pick up on that sliding hiatal hernia and we can get this resolved, because this poor guy is just suffering like nobody I've ever seen in my life. And he's a hard worker, and my other sons that he works with, they're like, Dad, why don't you just stay home? And he's like, I'm not going to stay home. I need the money. And they say, well, you get your cut of the money, no matter what, because it's your truck, your tools, yada, yada, yada. And I had to tell my boys, Dad is 68 years old. And if you take work away from him, you took his manhood. You can't do that to a guy that has such work ethic, It would kill him. He can never retire. And it's just really sad. This man has sacrificed everything, his health, his well-being, for his 8 kids and everybody around him, And not just his 8 kids, but their kids, their significant others, You know, everybody that comes to us, he helps them. And it's just a shame that he's got to suffer like this, you know. What is she cold?
I don't know. She's just shaking.
She always shakes.
I know. She's not shaking now.
She's just a shaky little
She
dog.
just wanted to be swaddled.
Where'd Mason go?
Poop.
Oh.
I don't know.
That was weird. What about you, Missy? What are you most looking forward to with Annabelle?
Like Mason said, seeing if we pick up on anything.
And what is your biggest fear?
Not picking up on something.
Yeah, kind of. I'm more worried about attacks, you know, somebody that I know and love getting injured or possessed.
I think we go, like we always go places with protection.
Yeah. Carry them condoms.
Yes.
Not sponsored.
No more babies. Oh. No, like we always say a protection prayer and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
mean, I don't really worry about that.
What about you, Ryan? What are you looking most forward to?
Just to see everything in person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm very
See what the
excited.
hype is about.
Yeah,
Any fears about it?
it's all of you guys touching it. Because if they
He
open,
doesn't fear the paranormal.
No.
He fears us not being able to control our ADHD selves.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
ooh, shiny.
Intrusive thoughts win again.
Well, Missy heard that the shadow doll doesn't want. So the shadow doll
Yeah.
doesn't like if you take pictures of it or touch it.
Okay.
Missy wanted to take a picture of him and boop his nose.
I want to boop his
Yeah.
nose.
When they
I'm gonna
open,
take a picture of Mom booping his nose.
when they open the door to it, you're gonna hear like when
Ryan
they're
scream and
squealing.
run.
You're gonna hear like when people lock their dogs in the car and it's honking the horn out in the parking lot. I'm just gonna sit in the car and go, we're going.
Yeah. Before the door even gets unlocked,
Yeah.
he's already beeping the
What
horn.
is your tire screeching?
Mhm.
Yeah, I will not be in the room for that part.
Oh yeah, you will.
I'll stand outside and come back.
No,
You
you'll
two
be-
grab Ryan each by one arm and
grab
I'll
Ryan,
open
grab
the
his
door.
Yeah.
They'll think
If
he's
you all
possessed.
feel like opening the door and booping everything, I will not be present. And I require a 48-hour hold and all be in the same house together.
Yeah, he's putting us on quarantine as well.
And we're going to be
It's
spending the
short.
night in
Last
a
one was 3
hotel
days.
there.
Yeah.
Are we spending the night in the hotel the night before?
If we're doing the ghost hunt, it'll be the night before and the night of.
Oh,
Mm,
so I got to save up lots of money.
Not really.
No.
Yeah,
Why is
they're
that?
cheap.
It's
Like,
fairly cheap.
Why?
It's gonna be less than.
I
two-
ain't staying in no Roach Coach
No, it's a
motel.
really,
No, it's
that
a-
really nice one I told you about.
The two that we're so it was at first it was in between the Marriott and the Hilton,
Okay.
but then we found one that has a casino in it,
A full casino.
full
Yeah.
casino.
Not
I'm
like
in.
full, but
Well,
A
a full
casino.
floor of a casino.
yeah,
I'm in.
that's what I said. I said, show
And
us
we
the mom
looked at
to
the
be in.
reviews, and it's a very, very clean, highly
Mhm.
rated hotel.
Yeah, we heard the same thing about the hotel that we stayed at in Boscobel, Wisconsin, that turned out to be Alibaba and the 40 Thieves.
because you stayed in Boscobel, Wisconsin,
Yeah,
Hey,
That-
now my family, part of my family came
In the-
from there.
in the middle of Timbuktu. nowhere.
Shittown, USA.
Yeah.
that probably was nice for Boscobel.
Yeah. Well, I won $416 waiting for the room to be ready.
It's because
On
the
the
machine's never been
slots.
used.
Yeah, like, oh, a person.
That was the test run.
Yeah, the guy behind the desk kind of
Factory
looks at
seal
me and
broke.
goes, "Oh no,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
she won."
And then right after you won, Marie and Missy both won money on it, but they only won like
I won like $20.
Marie won like $1.70 or something like that, and they
Yeah.
had to send them checks in the mail.
And I
Yeah,
never got mine.
I don't think she ever got hers either.
I mean, I wouldn't send out $1 something check either.
I got my 416 in cash.
Yeah,
I
But
wiped
their-
them out
I think their printer wasn't working for the machine.
for making more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's gonna be less than $200 a person.
Okay,
Yeah,
Which
Per
is
night.
Not bad, huh?
per night.
No, in
No,
total.
Well, we gotta think of not only the
Well, yeah, we
room,
could-
but
that's not including food and stuff.
It's not
but-
including food and gas. It's
but
including
everybody's taking care of
the
their own food.
museum part. It's including the
Ghost hunt.
Ghost hunt and hotel.
Well, give me the rundown of the per day,
And we need
including everything.
we need gambling money.
Yeah.
Well, that everybody's gonna bring their own. I'm not including that into the price.
I'm including it in my price.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, everybody brings their own gambling money and their
Yeah.
own food money.
I will not go there with less than 200 for gambling money.
With less,
Less.
you're gonna go
with
with
no
more?
less.
No, I'm
Oh.
going with more.
More than 200.
Okay.
He's a baller.
That check
I
hasn't
thought I
even-
was like,
Yeah, the
"Woo-hoo,"
check
'cause I was
hasn't.
gonna be
Even,
like-
I was thinking like $100.
That's what I was
It'll
thinking.
be gone in 20 minutes.
I was thinking
you
of
were
just
really
taking a
close.
grand with me and
Yeah.
whatever maybe, you know. Que sera, sera.
Probably what I'll end up doing.
You have a very great history of winning at casinos.
Yeah, that's my boy.
He's being
was
sarcastic.
Being
Being
sarcastic,
facetious.
he loses every time.
Oh. Well, you just got to rub elbows with me and do a pinky shake and you'll win.
doesn't work either. I tried.
The last time I won money is when his Aunt Joan died.
Oh, no.
Thanks, Joan.
It's the only time he ever won.
What'd you win?
Couple hundred.
We went to that
On 20
hotel in
bucks.
Prairie du Chien that time and I won $1,800 in one night.
Yeah.
And there's a little dive bar in the hotel.
Yeah.
Every time, well, when Tanner and I first started dating, every time I'd go back to Minnesota, we play the pull tabs, and I'd win at least $500 each time I went.
I
That's
don't
why
have
she kept
luck with
going.
pull tabs. I don't have luck with pull tabs.
Neither do I.
So anybody that's listening that likes slots, I'm about to do a little blessing for you. Find the Buffalo slot machine and I will grant you one big win.
After we win.
Yeah. The Buffalo hates me.
Oh, and that's what I won the
I always win
$1,800 on.
Buffalo.
I like
'cause that was the only machine
splat
there.
bat attack.
Yeah,
The Britney Spears one at Potawatomi, I won on that
haven't
too.
seen her.
Yeah, I
She's
think
not
that
there.
left when she shaved her head.
No, I went there after she shaved her
Yeah,
head.
she's not there.
No. They have one. It's mainly a Halloween one, but they kind of keep it around for a couple months after. It's called Bat Splat Attack. Bat Splat Attack.
I've played that one.
That
That
one
one's fun.
I have such good luck on.
Or just the regular one with the sevens and the, you know,
Cheers.
Yeah.
the cherries. I do well at that too.
We started out with just doing penny slots, and then I was like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Who likes seeing like, oh, I'm up 2 cents?
I go up to the
Me.
I just play the nickel slots. That's it.
Oh no, I put a 20 in, and I bet like $1 to $2 every time
Yeah.
to like the
Well, yeah, you hit
regular
max
ones.
bet and
No, to like the regular slot machines, like the game ones.
one time I was telling Vinny this and Dante and he almost had a heart they almost had a heart attack. For my birthday one year, I went into the
If you want.
high rollers room. I put $100 bill in, one pull, and my money was gone, and I didn't win shit.
Done that.
I would unalive.
I said, at this rate, you might as well just go in the bathroom, put your money in the toilet, and pull the handle.
And I'm gonna be on the other end of the toilet catching it.
I did it by. I had $100 in a slot machine, and Mr. Mason was showing me how to use the slot machines to win. And he
Mhm.
spent like $20 on one pull on it, and then didn't
Mhm.
because he hit the wrong button.
I didn't know
Yeah.
it was on max bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, $20 disappeared, and I was like, "So you gonna pay me for that?" He was like, "Oh no, that's just part of it."
That was a practice round.
Gotta pay to play.
Mhm.
Still walked away with more, but
Tanner and I used to do like date nights and go to Potawatomi, and we'd each walk in only $100.
mhm.
Leave your card at home, leave everything at home, $100.
That's what I do. When they print it out on that piece of paper, I don't use it again.
No, me either.
It goes in my
That's
back
the
pocket. and
secret.
that's
When
it.
I win anything over $50, nope, cash out. Put that ticket in your pocket. Put another 20 in, and limit yourself.
Yeah.
The right pocket is spending money. The left pocket, you don't touch that until you're cashing out to go home.
One time, we were there for like 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden Tanner's just following me around like a lost puppy. I'm like, what? I'm out of money. I haven't
are
even
you
spent
doing?
$20 yet.
That
in the
doesn't
hearts.
surprise me.
Oh,
So then I give him money, and I'm like, but I'd give him like $40, and I'd still walk out with like 130. Like, if you weren't mooching off me, I'd have more.
Sam and Desi used to go to Potawatomi a lot. and play the slots.
Mhm.
But they did other things too, like poker and
Yeah.
Blackjack.
Blackjack.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
like
is.
blackjack.
The table where you bet on the colors.
I want to try
Uh,
the roulette wheel.
Oh, that's fun.
Tanner would go there and play 21.
Hmm.
But we win every time.
I like blackjack. That's what it is.
I don't know poker.
For Yaya's birthday, my mom's, we have to go to Potawatomi and play for Yaya.
She's supposed to take me.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't do blackjack at Potawatomi is because now it's a virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
that's
really?
dumb.
A lot of
Like the
games
table's
now-
real, but that's just a TV,
Yeah.
some virtual card person.
Well, that's ridiculous.
The poker's still real because that I'll do.
Okay. But
I want to do roulette.
Roulette's fun.
yeah. Is there somebody standing there that does that, or does
Yeah.
it you push a button?
No, somebody's sitting there for that. It's just the blackjack.
They're taking people out of customer service and like even at the grocery store, self checkout, you know? Until they send me a paycheck, I'm not checking out my own groceries.
I do so I don't have to talk to people.
Yeah.
And,
Oh.
and so it gets bagged properly.
I just forget to
Mhm.
scan an item.
Yeah, and then you got some 90-year-old guy with a cane jumping on
No
you.
one stopped me.
But taking away like the people that work at the casinos and
People
stuff.
nowadays suck. There is no customer service skills that people have.
Mm-mm.
And also casinos. Everything's virtual now because they can rig it.
Yeah.
We went to Burger King. Speaking of customer service and the lack thereof, we went to Burger King last week. There was like a 300-pound African American woman who had the personality of a wet diaper. We pull up and she's like, "What you want?" I was like, "Holy shit!" Scared the life out of me.
Big
I
Mac.
probably went even whiter, you know.
I love how you guys are ordering McDonald's stuff from Burger King.
Oh,
That's
whatever.
it. They scared me so bad. I didn't know where I was.
Or is that her name?
Soft Taco
Big Mac.
Supreme.
But then I get this burger,
Chalupa.
and it was just this, like, it could have been a frisbee. It was like a rubber burger
Mhm.
that had no flavor,
First
and the
mistakes going to
cheese
Burger King.
wasn't melted.
Mm.
There was hardly any sauce on it, but 4 pounds of lettuce. Do I look like a rabbit?
I love me some this.
After every
yeah.
bite of it, I had to take a drink because I was going to choke to death on this dry ass burger.
Mhm.
Customer service is just garbage nowadays. Nobody wants to work, but they want $20 an hour to do it, you know? I don't know.
Mhm.
What?
Delilah just sent me a voice memo. Britney Spears shaved her head? What?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
What, that was
In,
like
like,
in the
2000.
90s?
2006,
2006. Yeah.
Oh,
2007.
That was
Okay.
before she was born.
Yeah.
that's funny, Delilah.
Britney Spears. You want to hear it? It's pretty.
Mm.
It's a pretty funny voice memo.
Put it up to the microphone.
I will. Let me turn it
I'm like listening. I need a nap. Okay, do it again.
I'm trying.
Britney Spears shaved her head? What? I'm speechless, to be honest.
Yeah, that's my granddaughter.
any sauce on
What's that? Never mind.
No sauce.
No sauce. What the heck?
On her head? Okay, well, I think we've tortured our listeners enough. Anything anybody wants to add?
Mm-mm.
Hugs, not drugs. Crack is whack.
Okay then. All right. Well, we've already made it like a thing that we're gonna be here every Wednesday, unless there's like tornadic weather.
Did you just take a curl?
Mason's hallucinating already.
I thought that was a ghost. It was my hair.
He's just swatting at something.
Swatted
Well,
himself
because
in the
my
head.
hair is like those living plants that move around.
Yep.
Just moves on its own.
Yeah, so we're gonna be here every Wednesday about the same time. unless, like I said, it's tornadic weather. This is Wisconsin. And I want to recommend T-Mobile for their internet because, hey, we didn't have to start over at all tonight. And it's really dismal and cloudy here. So
Raining.
if we still had Spectrum, we would have
Had to restart
not
4
had a
times.
podcast.
We wouldn't have made it this long.
Yeah, exactly. So T-Mobile people. All right. Be nice to each other and we'll see y'all next week. Good night.